Drayton, they're not alone?
No, Jen, many states are choosing to adopt their own vaccine guidelines. On Wednesday, California, Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii came out with their West Coast Health Alliance guidelines. For Illinois, Pritzker says this is a response to the federal government's disregard for science.
Under the new federal guidelines, it is unclear if a patient does need to have a prescription by their doctor in order to get the vaccine.
Unclear to patients, but Shauna Ryan with Southern 7 Health says federal guidelines do not require a prescription. They do, however, require a doctor visit, but Ryan says not in Illinois.
In the state of Illinois, we're wanting to make sure that everyone has ease of access to the vaccine, regardless of whether or not they've consulted their doctor or they have a prescription. The state is doing everything it can to make sure that they have that accessibility to those vaccines that are needed. Flu, COVID, RSV, and all the others are highly effective.
Ryan says it's uncommon for states to adopt their own vaccine guidelines, but important amidst rising concerns over the government's rhetoric on health.
There is some concern in the state of Illinois with the way that the federal government is looking at vaccines. That is one of the reasons why they did this, to make sure that everybody has actual fact-based information that is safe and effective for them, because vaccines are safe and effective. So we want to make sure they have that information up front.
Ryan says the new IDPH guidelines make vaccines more accessible, information more available, and build trust with state officials.
We want our residents to know that our leaders are looking at every avenue when it comes to vaccine and vaccine safety for them. That is our #1 concern in this effort. Do we trust what our leaders are doing? Yes, we do.
Ryan says while you don't need to speak with a doctor to get a vaccine in Illinois, it is still recommended. Health departments in Kentucky tell me the state hasn't released its own recommendations, and it's unclear if they'll stray from federal guidelines. Jen, the key difference is access. Illinois Department of Public Health doesn't require residents to consult a doctor before getting a shot. The new federal guidelines do. Governor J.B. Pritzker has been critical of RFK, saying his administration is neglecting the science. Now, Illinois isn't alone. Other states creating their own vaccination guidelines include Oregon, California, Washington, and Hawaii as part of the West Coast Health Alliance. Minnesota and Illinois make up the Midwest. New Jersey, New York, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut on the East Coast as well. And out west, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Nevada. Local health experts say that this is a necessary decision.
The new current federal guidelines for COVID-19, there's been some concern that patients might not have ease of access to the vaccine. We want to make sure that all patients over the age of 6 months have access to that. This process makes that free to them to do without consulting their doctor or getting a doctor's prescription. However, we do recommend people do talk with their doctors to make sure that it's right for them.
I spoke with local health departments here in Kentucky, and they say that KDPH hasn't released their own guidelines, but Ryan says it's important to note that federal guidelines are subject to change.